ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
And I hope everyone else is ready. It is Sunday night. That means this is At Weeks in the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and more. And we're going to dive into all of that right after this. Joined as always by the co-hosts with the most is Sector 2815, Mr. Paul Cook. How are you?
I am doing well. Let me be not the first person to wish you happy birthday.
You actually were.
Oh, that's right, I was. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be not the first person in this chat to wish you happy birthday.
Well, there you go.
On this stream.
Yeah, I don't know if you. I don't think you can see what time someone just reacts to a comment.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw when you sent that, and it was like, I think it was like 4 something a.m. when I saw it, maybe 3 something, because I did one of those little middle of the night kind of wake up things. Happens normally. I'm like, hey, look, Paul won. Kyle told me happy birthday at like 11:49. I'm like, homie, it's not my birthday. She goes, I know, but it will be soon. I'm like, well then tell me after 12. And I'm laying there watching Horizon and American Saga, and she's in the other room watching something else and ends up falling asleep. And so you win first prize for the happy birthdays. Hooray for you.
Woohoo.
And for that, I'll put your name on a wheel later this evening, because tonight is the Legion Loot giveaway. It's the first Sunday of the month. It's also the Legion Loot. It's also my birthday. It's a lot going on today.
Man.
So, yeah. Everybody get excited. So we'll do the wheel here in just a little bit. We'll go through all the stuff we got to do before that, and I'll show off the books that are included in tonight's giveaway. But first off, give a big thank you to Big Time Collectibles. There will be some Big Time Collectibles exclusives included in tonight's giveaway. Also, if you need anything cleaned or pressed, don't forget to hit up Justin's Comics. The link is in the description of all my videos to all the sponsors, including ABX Comics and Games. If you're looking for a comic shop to set a pool list up at, a Facebook group to keep up with comics, tabletop gaming, ABX Comics and Games has got you covered. And big news. Pop's Attic.
Mm-hmm. It's having a sale.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Midnight to midnight.
Midnight to midnight. So starting tonight at midnight until tomorrow at midnight. All comics will be, I think it said buy 2, get 1 free, comics, trade paperback, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He sent me the thingy majigger, bobber. I guess I could look at it, but the books that we post over there are already priced to fly out the door. Like they're at prices where you shouldn't even have to waste your time looking up prices, because we already do. But all $1 comics are buy 2, get 1 free. All trade paperbacks or hardcover collected edition are buy 2, get 1 free. And if you order one of the Pops Picks box of comics, which is just like a big mystery box, he'll add an additional 5 bonus books to it, which are already at a ridiculous killer deal. So make sure you check the description. You can also find Pop's Attic. All the stuff you see me open like in mystery boxes or books that you just acquire things over time. Everyone acquires things over time. They go over there to go and get.
And your channel sponsor, BTC, they're running a sick
buy one, get one half off.
Yeah, exactly. CGC. And they also, I think it's live now, I think is the Jang Transformers cover. Isn't it a Jang Transformer cover?
The Jang Transformers they showed is the foil version of Devastator, which is exclusive for, what's the next con?
NYCC.
It's the NYCC. It's that green Jang Devastator, which has been released already, but they've got like the Miko TMNT. They foiled that one, which if you're a gold box member, their monthly mystery box. If you're signed up for that, you'll be getting a non-foil one that are limited to only 500 copies. This next member box that's like in the mail on the way already, so it'd be the August one, is insane. Like, because of the hype of Deadpool, Wolverine, Nelson lost his mind and stacked these boxes. He's like, we need a Cable book, we need a Deadpool book, we need a Wolverine book. They need to all connect, and they should look like trading cards, but painted. I'm like, oh my God. Like, my brain was going, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be the most stacked box yet. There's been some major stacked boxes, but I'm very excited for that to come in. Very excited. But let's pause for the calls. In the words of Remy Q, Thursday night, he was doing his Clark Kent impersonation from
Okay.
Man of Steel. Just
Huh.
it was hilarious. It's been stuck in my head since then. But let's see. Why is this StreamYard thing in here like we don't know this? Live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. We know. This is an example, correct? Click on a comic to show it on screen. That's weird. I don't think I've ever noticed that in here. It might always be there. I don't know. What is going on, Las Crucias 1971? Thank you so much. Hooray, woohoo. John's Comics with Kids. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing good tonight. HBD Mark, birthday cake. That's this guy. Thank you so much, Vet. Hope you're doing good. Vogsy, what's up? What's up? Thank you. Happy birthday from New Mexico. That's a curveball. Wasn't expecting that. What is going on, David? Good to see you in here, homie. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. It hasn't been an epic one yet. It's been an epic holiday work weekend. Paul knows this, but I take care of animals for a living. I run a kennel. So when everybody else has a holiday, I'm working twice as hard, which is fine. I prefer to have my off days when other people are at work too.
Animals who think every day is their birthday.
Yeah, like I can't take a break. Yeah, work today, work tomorrow. But I'm off Tuesday, and that's what counts. Collecting with Durs, what is going on? Happy birthday, fam. ABX, F Cancer. Thank you so much. And the F Cancering reminds me that Comics Curing Cancer is getting ridiculously close. We're just a month away. The first weekend of October, the 3-day virtual live event will begin right here on this channel that Friday morning during Legion's Lair. Make sure you check out Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram or Facebook to see a lot of the stuff that's been donated. We've gotten an amazing assortment of donations of stuff of all different caliber. It'll be spread out through different shows, tons of original art. There'll be just all kinds of stuff. We're getting all the different shows lined up now and communicating with all the people, getting it all lined up, and we'll be rolling out the show list with the times because it's going to bounce between different shows throughout the 3 days. It's going to be awesome.
However, if you want to donate something, you only have until September 25th, I believe.
Yeah, get it to us now, please. Please get it to us now so we can.
Rob put out a video of that.
Yeah, so we can get it in, we can get it valued, we can figure out where it goes, what to do with. There's a lot that has to be done leading up to it the last week there. So if stuff's not coming in, it makes it a little bit easier, Get it in early. Brother John's Comics, what is going on? Thank you so much. The Adventurous One, Joseph Michaels. Congrats on reaching 4K. Thank you. Well on the way. We're well on the way. I think I'm at like 4,150-ish now. Moving right along. Loki Dragonborn, what is going on, homie? Ian, how are you doing? What's up? Thank you so much, Ian. That's a diehard Jang fan right there. Me and Ian. What stream? We started chatting in a stream on an auction about Jang stuff and ended up talking for a while. What is going on, Pops? Let's go, Legionnaires. Got a 99-cent super chat from Loki. Dude, I appreciate that so much. Let's hit him with appreciate that with a super sticker. House of L Comics, what is happening? Birthday boy and Paul. We got 5 pounds from DVH,
Oof. Dr.
Von Who. Let's go. Happy birthday, Mark. Only 3 episodes into Terminator. Fire. We definitely will be touching on Terminator Zero here in a little bit. Everyone who's seen me on streams or in chats knows I've been screaming its praises since Thursday. I really enjoyed it. And Paul was able to surprise me today out of left field. He's like, I watched it all. I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect you to watch any of it. But he watched it all. No one really wins Legion loot. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
What is going on, Jim? Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. We'll have to bounce when we hit spoiler talk. Fair enough. We will get there. We most definitely will get there. All the custom emojis you get. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. What is going on, Evil Mike? Evil, I was working on putting together a video for this coming Wednesday, and I believe you made the video for what I'm doing. I tried to stick with people that I know because I was using some comments from something previously. Just a few hours away from what? Just a few hours away from what?
Hmm.
Wonder if he's like pulling some. I'm his dad. I know the exact time he was born, kind of
I,
thing.
I think he's just a few hours away from his. I have to be the in between you and your dad. He's
Okay.
talking about just a few hours away from his sale, I believe.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, the lag. That's right,
Hmm.
the lag. Yeah. Yeah. Just over 3 hours. Yeah, Pop's Attic. This guy right here. Yeah, you can find him on Instagram. It should be linked in the description as well. Just you find him searching Pop's Attic. Boom, 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 boom. I was say, Pops, you do have a wrench. I don't know if you know how to get the link to share in the chat, but feel free to drop the link for Pop's Attic. Let's see. Stephen with a C, what is going on, homie? Good to see you in here tonight. Tate, what's up? A huge happy birthday. Mark, my brother, hopefully your day was incredible. How many times around the sun now? 37 times around the sun. And it was a very good day. Very good day. I'm glad that we're at the end of it. JSS Brooklyn, what is going on? Happy Labor Day Sunday to you as well. And no, thank you. Thank you. All right, Trev, what up? Kind of like when I was working, exactly. 30 now. I wish. Yeah. My oldest is 17. That'd be rough if I was only 30. There'd be something wrong.
Mark
Okay.
working him. He's working it.
Yeah. Gary B, what is going on? Hope you're doing good. And I think we hit everybody. Just finished Terminator. Oh, yes. Yes. I was talking to Pops. The Jeep did its thing, and
Hmm.
Pops picked me up from work yesterday with the kids and took me to go pick up the Jeep. And we were talking about it. And I think he was like 3 episodes in and just telling me like what it's looking like from where he's at. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to him again to see how it unfolds. I watched 1 episode so far. Love what I saw. Man, y'all got to get on this. Don't do it, Mike. Don't do it, Mike. Don't do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right, let's see. I think I hit everybody. I always used a wrench like a hammer, never could figure things out. Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, we can start with that because that's something that I'm completely not privy to. But before we dive into it, the Legion loot stuff for tonight. Show that off real quick. We'll show it off again later, but this is can I get a mod to drop Pop's link in the chat, please, for Ian? This is what's going to be in the Legion loot giveaway tonight. We have the movie poster variant for Batman 89, which I'd never seen this before BTC sent it, but that's pretty wicked. That's a pretty dope cover. Wasn't the biggest fan of the series. Love Superman 78, though. We got the Gwen Stacy Edge of Spider-Verse #1 BTC exclusive. The Banner of War Virgin exclusive. I think that's Kirkham. Yeah, Kirkham. Some Hulk versus Thor. The Power Ranger arcade one. This is actually a MegaCon exclusive. Number 180 out of 400. This is Power Rangers of the Return, that Amy Jo Johnson series with the certificate of authenticity in there. And then Flash #1, the Kid Flash one. That's the Reverse Flash one.
Right.
And then we have Barbarian Queen Cherubus. This is the VHS variant for that. That's pretty cool. It even has like the fake stickers on it. That's issue #1 of a brand new series. The Johnny Quest foil, brand new Johnny Quest series from Dynamite. Like Dynamite's cooking right now. They got it going on. And then the brand new series from Vault, Something Crawled Out. I think these were passed out like as freebies, and it looks like something is Hunter S. Thompson's crawling out right there with a bucket hat and glasses. But yep. And then the Ash Can for Hyde Street, Ghost Machine's brand new series. It'll be starting in a couple months. Next month, right? Next
October, yeah.
Yeah, it's September now, coming fast. But you can get a head start on it with this Ash Can. And then the nice little kicker book in there, the first appearance of She-Hulk with Savage She-Hulk issue #1. So all that is going out to lucky winner tonight. What is going on, K-Poppers? Yeah, Hyde Street is fantastic. Super good little start there. Ivan Reese, man. He was like, I said it years ago. He's like the saving grace to Bendis' Superman run at the end there. Like, you can just buy it just for the art.
He had some classic titles with Jeff Johns, and I'll have another one. So he had Green Lantern. He was on Justice League. They were on Aquaman. They were.
Let's see. Paul, do you want to tell people about Rings of Power season 2 is officially started? Are we 2 episodes in?
They dropped 3 episodes
3.
on Thursday night. It comes out on Thursdays. We're 3 episodes in. I've watched 2 out of the 3 so far. I'll watch the third one tomorrow. Um, the first 2 episodes kind of delve back into the whole history of Sauron and how he came to his history with Adar and the orcs and all that other things. And then in episode 2, he's now suddenly trying to get into good graces of Celebrimbor, the guy who made the rings. So he's working that in episode 2, and he manages to do that. So it really is it's based on all of the stuff before the Hobbit and the Fellowship of the Ring. But so far, I'm still enjoying it. It is one of the visually outstanding series I think that ever been done. It has movie quality in every single episode, I think.
That's the most expensive television show ever produced. It better.
Yeah. Yep.
So we got female orcs and orc babies now, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me about the orc babies.
We got I don't know, I think, and then we got halflings. We don't call them hobbits. We call them halflings because there are certain things.
Orclets and halflings.
We got certain words that they can't use because it's owned by New Line
Because
Cinema
they don't
and things
have
like
the
that.
rights to be doing
Exactly.
Crazy.
So
Rings of Power is so good. I'm glad there's a good number of people
yeah,
that are
I really like it. And, we have a wizard that I think is probably going to end up being Gandalf, but right now he's just called a stranger.
Yeah, I don't think they're
But
allowed to say Gandalf. Though.
it's probably going to be Gandalf. We have a dark wizard who is probably going to end up being Saruman. Not Sauron. Sauron's already the other guy.
I get those confused.
Yeah, very close.
Christopher Lee.
Yes, exactly.
Everything starts falling apart at 55, so you're still good.
That happens already in that show.
Really? Carrying it over from the chat. Oh man, of course I did. That's old though.
Did not.
That's an old one. But what? So I'm not watching it. I tried to watch season 1. I'm like, this ain't doing it for me. And again, I said this 1,000 times, but with Amazon, there's just like one. I don't have it on my phone. I just saw that one TV, so I have to sit down and really be committed to watching it. Really be drawn in. Like I fell off the Cape Crusader, never went back to watch it. It's greenlit for a season 2 now, from what I understand.
Yep.
And Reacher, that's it. Jack Reacher is the only thing that Amazon has put out that like kids get out of the room. Me and your mom are watching Jack Reacher. But yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. And in Galadriel and Elrond are basically on their way to see if they can intercept Sauron, but he's already there. So
yeah, a lot of people are super mad about that show, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're just like whether it's good or bad. I think they're too financially stuck with it to walk away from it, or I think they would have walked away from it based off just how much they put into it versus what they got. Like maybe they're hoping like they'll get some momentum and build an audience because I mean it's been a long time in all reality since we got Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's been like almost 25 years now.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't really know why they actually went and did it in the first place, because really The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, those are the 2 main stories that have the most meat on them that he wrote. This is all based on a little bit on The Hobbit, but more on all of his appendices and those things like that. And it really was
Silmarillion.
Yeah, exactly. And all those things. So there's not really there is a narrative in some ways, but it's not like The Hobbit or the Lord of the Ring type narrative type thing.
Yeah. So basically they were able to take crumbs of lore and then just connect them with their own made up version.
Right.
So I think that's where people are upset, because this stuff has like very deep, rich lore, and it has a massive, massive fan base. It's like they don't have to release new material for this to be a successful franchise forever, because it will always have a massive Tolkien fan base. And then when like, well, let's just make up our own. They'll love it. That's just, I don't know, it just doesn't track for a lot of people.
Well, Peter Jackson is going back and doing 3 more movies, right, or 4 more movies, right?
Yeah, he's doing.
Supposedly.
Well, I don't know how many he's going to do or not do, but right now, where that crap show sits is Warner Brothers wants to put something out. They're the ones that hold the rights for Lord of
Mhm.
the Rings, for The
Right.
Hobbit, and Peter Jackson is set to produce a movie about Gollum.
Hmm. Right.
And I don't know how many chapters they're going to end up doing, but Andy Serkis, the actor who played Gollum,
Hmm.
Schmeagol, is set to direct. And I hope to God that's just like a charity move, and Peter's actually doing a lot more than just simply producing, because
Hmm.
Andy Serkis sucks at directing. He's like the world's greatest mocap actor ever, but he's the Venom 2 guy, you know what I mean? But in his defense, he did direct that Mowgli movie, like
Hmm.
when the live action
Right.
Disney Jungle Book came out, which was actually really good. There was also a live action movie called Mowgli, like just
Hmm.
same story, slightly different, more mature, and it was really, really well done. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Wheel of Time is good, dude. I don't know. I never checked that out based on Rob's Fat Stacks recommendations. I avoided that one. His wife, Mrs. Fat Stacks, goes to like Wheel of Time conventions and stuff. You know, I guess they call them Renaissance fairs, but
Hmm.
actual Wheel of Time has like conventions and meetups and all that. And she watches it, but she's not happy with that one either. The acting and production is 10 out of 10. Okay, I've I've seen some of it, and I think I dropped off after 3 episodes. I don't know. Still sticking to the Lord. No, but that's okay. What is going on, Entropy and Comics? Like I watch breakdown videos on it. Like I'm
Hmm.
still interested enough to watch that kind of stuff. And like these people are like pointing out every little thing right and wrong with it. And they're just like these are like diehard Tolkien people. They're just heartbroken. Lady Fantastic message. She's like a diehard Tolkien
Hmm.
fan, like in our corner of the community. She messages me like I'm dying over here and hitting me with like details and points. So I don't understand the people that say that they're sticking to the lore when like you can find out in five seconds that they're not. So you just have to be accept that they're not and be okay with it, which is
Right.
fine, which is absolutely fine. It depends on how invested you are in the lore. Hunt for Golem, there it is.
Right. Yeah. And then getting back to what we were saying before, another reason why I think the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings worked too is because not only is there a lot more meat on the bone in those things, but they're definite. Uh, they don't take thousands of years. There are thousands and thousands of years that occur, and it really kind of just says, and then for thousands of years, Sauron built up his power, and it's like, and that's pretty much all,
That's
all
like a
the,
Dragon Ball episode, right? Where
you
they're
know,
just sitting there charging for 3 episodes.
yeah, but there are, definite time frames that work within the concept of a three movie arc that you can have where you don't have thousands of years
Mhm.
that pass.
Yeah, the different ages, right? They
Yeah,
got like
exactly.
three
There's
distinct
it's three
ages.
three different ages. Yeah.
Mhm. And that was one thing like yeah, I don't know how much like not sticking to the Lord is versus just like making some weird choice like when the stranger fell from the stars, like he fell in the completely wrong age and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like when it comes down to it, the absolute best that show can do is a high budget, very good quality fan fiction. And that's perfectly fine. That's they knew what they were doing when they got into it. They had to have been okay with losing a lot of the fan base to do it and just banking on getting new fans. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Just got back from our 28th fantasy football weekend with the guys. Well, I hope you had a fantasy good time. Hope it was a banger. Peter Jackson did the exact same thing. I don't
Mhm.
disagree. Added a brand new character for the movie. It's a weird thing to even try to compare, in my opinion, but that's fine. I get people like it. Exactly. They can only like
And
it's literally not
he
the
wrote
same
some
thing.
appendices too that have to do with
Yeah.
it too. So yeah.
Yeah, I get people like it. I get people that can overlook stuff, but again, it doesn't. It only takes you 5 seconds of actually going to look to see how much they changed. And again, you just have to be okay with it or not. I don't care to be honest with you, one way or the other. Like I'm not a diehard Lord of the Rings guy. I love the movies. Never read the books.
Hmm.
Like saw all three of the movies in theaters on opening weekend with pops. back in the day. It was like 2000, 2001, 2002 or something like that. I still got my movie stub tickets somewhere. I bought the DVDs when they came out, bought the extended Blu-rays when they released those and the set. Love the movies, but
I mean, I guess I'm not as deep into the lore, which we'll also find out in a little while about Terminator, to necessarily know everything that has been changed or maybe out of order or something like that. But you know, even so, I still enjoy it. I do.
yeah, yeah. There's plenty of stuff out there. Like look how I am with Transformers. I'm not judging anybody for liking it, guys. I'm a Michael Bay Transformers fan. No judgment from me, but I can watch that and be like, yo, they changed so much. Like this isn't the Gen 1 stuff. There's a reason why Gen 1 fans don't like it, and that's fine. Like they're right. They're not wrong. They're completely right. Michael Bay changed up all kinds of stuff. This isn't the Transformers they know. That's 100% true. And I still like it. Like I like it more than the other stuff. It's my favorite Transformers, the Michael Bay stuff. And that's okay. But two things can be true. It can be different. It can have bastardized the Gen 1 stuff, and I can still like it because he set out to do his own thing. He didn't set out to adapt the Gen 1 stuff. He just used it as I don't know, like a basic map, like we got dots on this map, but we got no details. We'll make up our own details as we go. See, here we go. Let me have it. I don't care. I love every bit of it. Yeah, exactly. You just got to take it for what it is. It's just entertainment. And I know mileage varies. Like I'll be quick to snap on something like something I'm like deep into the lore. I get it. I'll hate it. I'll spit on the ground. I'll want it to be canceled so something different can come after it, not get more of the stuff I don't like. That's fine. We all have our highs and lows. Yeah, that's fair. Not getting the premise from a source to the screen. That's describing every franchise ever. I don't know. There's some pretty accurate ones out there too, though. There's some good ones. I think the best time when you see a franchise work is when it starts as a movie, and then other things like Terminator, Predator, Matrix, Avatar, like all these movie franchise universes we had before, they started sourcing comics so heavily and stuff like that. Those are always the easiest ones to be fans of, I think. That's how. I didn't like Afterlife. No, I loved Afterlife. I didn't care for what's it called, like Frozen
Empire.
Yeah, that's it. Frozen Empire. I didn't care for that one. That one it didn't have that X factor that Afterlife had. When you look at the top, what was this? When you look at the top of the set the walls or lighting truss, you have small video aspects to just. Okay, so he's setting up the Emmys. He said. Saw that up here. Here we go. Just got home from setting up the video walls, eyebrows, and walkways for the upcoming Emmys. That's gotta be a fun job, man. That's gotta be a fun job. Yeah, most people don't. Oh, he's a Gen 1 diehard and still like the rest. That's awesome. Just like the Boys series, some of it is comic accurate, and some stuff was that. The Boys is unrecognizable from the comics, like from Jump.
Yeah, I mean, I think just for the fact that you're moving from one medium to another, it really can't be the same necessarily.
Yeah, unless it's
Watchmen. I was gonna say, unless you're Zack Snyder doing the Watchmen.
Yeah, or 300. Yeah. There's been 3 occasions where we've gone shot for shot on stuff. But yeah, when you switch up a medium, you got to change something. Like Watchmen, that creative, thought out decision to change the squid to an explosion, and how can we actually make that work and locks up with the story? I honestly think that improved on the story because the squid thing is so random, even when you're reading the book. In the book where there's no metahumans, no supernatural. I know it was a work of science, it was work of genius, but still it was just, even when I was reading Watchmen, I'm like, that's cool, but it's very far-fetched for this book that's so grounded, save for Dr. Manhattan. But he was an anomaly.
Right.
You can watch or not. Ian is dead on. Yeah, 100%. But I'm never gonna not watch stuff like like DC or Star Wars. I'm never going to not check it out. I want the lore. That's why I can understand the criticisms people have for the Rings of Power stuff. Thanks for the reminder about Horizon being on HBO, Mark. I checked it out this morning. It was good. Not great, but enjoyable. I hope he gets to finish it with all 4 parts. I didn't know it was 4 parts. I honestly thought it was only 2 parts.
He's finished 2 parts.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But his plan is to do at least 4.
Well, I'm all in. I didn't want to get into much spoiler talk at all on that post I put out, John, because I know some of it could distract and run people away, but I plan on talking it tonight. Yes. So Horizon is Kevin Costner's current Western epic saga. And the original movie poster was originally slated to be released June 28th and August 16th. That was New Line's decision to do this 6-week apart thing. That was not Kevin Costner's decision. He was wanting for a little bit bigger of a break. So luckily, because of the slow reception of the movie, New Line wanted to pull it temporarily. And by pulling it, what it's allowed it to do is be screened at Venice. Part 1 was screened at Cannes. Part 2 now is getting screened at Venice Film Festival, which is a huge deal, especially for Kevin, who's like bankrolling so much of this himself. But this isn't like 3:10 to Yuma, you know. This isn't The Quick and the Dead. This is like modern Lonesome Dove. You know what I mean? This is like a slice of life. You're really participating in the story kind of thing. And I thought it was fantastic with this first part. It's 3 hours and a couple of minutes, just over 3 hours. And it didn't feel like it. I started it at about 11 something last Friday night. And yeah, Friday night after In the Mix. I ended up staying up and like all night watching it pretty much. It was that good, just in one sitting. But it's very much like he made this knowing that this is a very, very, very long journey that all these characters are on. So part 1 is doing a lot to set up those characters more than anything. But the way that it ended with this outrageous, crazy, like pretty much like a hype track kind of ending, like the fast-paced Western music cuts in and it starts showcasing like a montage of clearly what's to come. It looks like there's a lot faster paced stuff about to happen. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what's going to happen. Came in at the right place. Yeah. Dude, how like, and if you watched it today, like I love that it really does have like this 80s, 90s Western tone to it. And then that ending though, like I had to get up out of bed and go pace around for a second and get some water because I'm like, oh, I can't believe it ended there. Can't believe it ended there. See, Mike said he thinks there's some issues with the last 2 parts. Not sure, might have heard wrong.
Yeah, the issue is the funding.
Yeah, because Kevin like funded the 1 and 2, didn't he?
Yeah, he definitely did. Yep.
Oh, like a good Western. Yeah, Mike said he loved it. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Live productions in full swing. Movie money is still on hold. We initially had strike concerns, now election. Is this in terms of Horizon? Where are you at?
He may be talking about the Emmys again.
Emmys, yeah. My dad is 83 and a lifelong Western fan. He says it is the best he has seen since Unforgiven. And it's just and you can tell it's just the start, but man, you really get into it. The whole frontier thing. That the cast is phenomenal. Like the cast is legitimately phenomenal. Hopefully soon will production full swing. That's high praise, Tate. I like Costner's Open Range a lot more. That's my favorite. I have a hard time really trying to place part 1, knowing how it is literally not. It's not done. I don't even want to say it's not done like you have like a trilogy to do, but it's clearly just one long ass movie. You know, it's not like let's make part 1 movie, then we'll make part 2.
And if there's anything Mark loves, it's one long ass movie.
It really is, man. It really is. Oh, there we go. He's currently shooting part 3 and preparing part 4. See, I was curious about that because I saw on the I followed the IG page. I saw where you're showing some production stuff, and I didn't know if that was like old footage or what. Anyone finish Outer Range on Max? It's kind of slow, and I lost interest. What is Outer Range?
Don't know.
There's a something range on. I think it was on Amazon that had Thanos in it. What's that actor's name? I'm blanking.
Josh Brolin?
Josh Brolin, yeah. It was like this Western sci-fi kind of thing. I feel like that's the one that he's talking about. So my favorites. Just had Dad with Open Range. He loved it. Anyone seen Bone Tomahawk? Brutal. I don't think I've seen that one. Oh, talking industry as a whole.
Okay.
Bone Tomahawk was great. I'm gonna have to write that one down. Ain't heard of that one. I'll tell you what. Some of the I feel like the way that the action and the brutality of what's happening just felt very realistic in this one too. They didn't try to spotlight or highlight any graphic violence, but there are things that are graphic, if that makes sense. They're not going for gore. They're just going for that's what it is. You know, they're never focused. There's definitely the first 40 minutes of Horizon is just tough. It's really tough to watch. It's ridiculously brutal, but it's filmed in a way where it's not like senseless gore though. Well said, Mark. It didn't have an ending, not at all. That was a complaint for me. I'm sorry. I assumed you're like me. I wanted some sort of climax moment, and it lacked a bit of structure. Yeah, and I think those are all the things that worked in favor for me, in a sense that I want this to feel different than a standard Western movie or a standard movie installment in a franchise, because I don't think that's what this is supposed to be. Like, I went into it thinking it was not that same thing. So I like the fact that it felt like I just watched a long version of something that back in the day would be like a television event, and part two's coming on next week kind of thing. That's what it felt like. They just took like that TV format and took it to such a grander scale.
See, I would kind of be like with John. I don't mind things that are 3 hours long, but if it's gonna be 3 hours long, and I also don't mind something that's setting up a part two, but there should feel some sort of an ending. I think for me, I would want to be some sort of an ending for the 3 hours that I invested in it.
Oh
Because
yeah, there's definitely not. not not one freaking bit. There are what you could call maybe like benchmarks in their stories. Like Kevin Costner character is now by himself. A group of Indians just suffered an attack. A group of like kind of Rough Rider-esque kind of people are now on the hunt kind of thing. The military outpost that you follow, it like kind of an affection, a sexual tension between a couple of characters gets addressed in a very heartwarming, happy kind of way, which is good because we needed to relieve some tension from all the other stuff. But there's no major like this character arc. Here's the beginning of it. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. None of that. Every bit of this is just a slow incline, and we're stopping. But they gave us the really cool, like, you don't see it in movies, like where you don't even realize the movie's ending until it just decides to give you. And the way it does an ending is, like I mentioned, like it just music kicks in. You see Kevin Costner's character Hayes by himself, and he stops on his horse and looks behind him, and you don't get to see what he's looking at, but he just pulls up his rifle and just starts hauling off. Music kicks in, it starts cutting to like horse chases, stuff blowing up, just stuff like it's cutting to all these characters, new characters you haven't seen. You're like, yo, what is going on? Characters that feel like they're worlds apart, standing side by side on screen. You're like, how did they get there? You're like, I need part two. It was like a trailer for part two built in at the end, but like woven into the film. It was really clever. Really clever. Yeah, those are the two issues or negative reviews. Sits at 17% in money for the last part. What's at 7? Horizon's at 17%? That's crazy. Mr. Costner went broke essentially. His divorce settlement didn't help on self-funding the film. It's a shame. I saw he put a lot in that movie, but other Westerns are far better in my opinion. Oh yeah, I'm not thinking this ain't my favorite Western by far. Tombstone.
he put a lot of money. He dumped Yellowstone to do this. He basically
Put it all on the line. I wrote it down. I'm going to check it out. I'll find it for sure. There's a lot of Bone Tomahawk talk. All right, let me get down to the bottom of this. What's next on the list? What do we have here? I'm going to scroll on down. Saw 2 episodes of Terminator 0, and I love it already. Last thing I can say is that it gave me Lonesome Dove vibes as far as the scope and history. I just wish the characters' stories were stronger, but Kevin will work it out with sequels. Yeah, I think he's just playing the long game. It's just a different thing than we're expecting. I do want to point this out. Paul shared this a couple days ago. Fill everyone in, Paul. What are we looking at here, and how can they get it?
This is from the comic. Well, this is an open to order Jim Lee foil variant for Absolute Batman #1. The Comic Mint is giving them away for free. You just have to pay shipping. The shipping may actually end up covering what you would normally pay,
Mm-hmm.
but they also have a lot of 50% off as well this weekend on some of their foils that they've done and things like that. So if you have a chance and you're interested in it and you want to get it for free, other than obviously the shipping, it's thecomicmint.com.
So it's
Uh,
definitely worth checking out the website and
yeah.
see if there's a couple things you want to buy and just let this free book piggyback with your other stuff.
Hmm.
This book is probably going to retail for $10 on their website. It's listed as a $9.95 book, but shipping is $9.95 if you buy the book by itself. So essentially, you can buy the book and have it sent to you for free. Same deal you'd possibly get with your local comic shops if your shop orders them, has them out. Everyone has different access and availability. So I wanted to put that out there. This book's getting a lot of heat, a lot
Hmm.
of praise. This Absolute Batman is going to be a huge release, absolute huge release. I'm calling it now. I mean, it's kind of common sense, but it's gotten so much traction on social media this past week. Scott
Yeah.
Snyder spoke out on it. Ian Bertram spoke
I was
out
gonna
on it.
say, go and tell Scott Snyder that his emblem is too big.
Yeah, and that's actually what the video that I'm working on that I mentioned. Mike made the comments is going to be about. Is all the hate that this book is. I hate to use that word because it's been co-opted, but all the backlash that this bat symbol has caused
Hmm.
in the fandom universe. But I can't wait. Scott Snyder had fun responding by saying every negative comment I see about the symbol, I'm going to make it 1% bigger.
Hmm.
So in this, I wanted to pull this photo up here because it spotlights the bat symbol on
The
his
fact that
chest.
it
You can see a
comes off and
grid,
becomes part of his
and that staff that he's
mallet or stuff.
holding.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
part of his cape.
Yeah.
Everything on him is something that can harm you with this one. Absolute Wonder Woman looks most interesting to me. She looks fantastic. I think they
Yeah,
said that she's going to confirm to be a witch too, right?
yeah, he's got a big ass blade. Superman,
Mhm.
we were talking about this the other day, is, they're doing some funky things with his cape and his costume as well. So,
It's gonna be cool. Mark, Paul, John, I need some movie recommendations. I'm having choice paralysis. I'm glad you asked for one because I'll give you one. First off, we just got done talking Horizons. Check it out. And then for any recommendation that I'm giving anybody for the next, I don't know, till something else comes out that really impresses me, Terminator Zero, now streaming on Netflix. This show
what?
was shockingly good. Shockingly good. For those that don't know, it released this past Thursday, August 29th, which is in fact Judgment Day. August 29th, 1997 is when Skynet went online, instantly
Mhm.
became self aware, and declared humankind a threat and started the war against people. So that was very smart marketing on Netflix's
Mhm.
part, releasing the show on Judgment Day. And it also played into the story of it. You got 8 episodes here, all clocking in at 20 something minutes, making this for a combined 4 hour long movie if you watch in one sitting. Just a good old fashioned long movie. And I'll tell you, I've done it twice since it came out. Just maybe that's why I got behind on stuff. Is by the time the weekend hit and I had to work, I'd spent all my free time watching this twice, and I can't wait to watch it again. I a little context here. I am not an anime fan. So when I saw that a Terminator show was coming, I was excited. I was through the roof. We haven't had one since the Sarah Connor Chronicles on Fox back in the 2000, not well, like 2000 aughts, like 6 or 7. So
Mhm.
they announced a Terminator show. I'm like, yo, awesome, more Terminator. Then they announced it's going to be animated. I'm like, okay, whatever, that makes sense. It's easier to do animated. Then they're like, it's going to be anime. I'm like, bleh. And I assume that I'm going to try this show, make it an episode 2 at best, and not be able to sit through it. It's just not my thing. I started watching this and couldn't stop. This has one of the best put together stories and execution out of the entire franchise. Hands down. I would put it only like story quality wise, it's only behind Terminator 2. Like Terminator 1, I think, is a flawless film all in all. Like it deserves every bit of that 100% Rotten Tomato score that it still sits at till this day. But this took chances. It swung for the fences, and it connected on so many levels. But now
Well,
that
let
I'm
me
done doing all
again.
that,
I'm not as big into the lore and everything. I enjoyed it. But I was always under the impression that one of the issues with the Terminator franchise is that you get the first two movies that Cameron did, and then you get all these other movies in the middle, and then Cameron did another one, right? He did. Oh, but the one with Dark Fate or something, right?
he bailed.
Supposedly,
He
what's
bailed.
that?
He bailed because the
Right,
director was impossible to work with.
but it kind of ignored all those other movies and went back to Terminator 2, right? From a
Yes,
lore
and
standpoint.
yes and no. Yes and no. So we're doing time travel and you're doing split timelines. When you hit Terminator
Not split
Genesis,
timelines. It's not split. We talked about that, right? Nothing splits off of anything, right? It creates a whole new, right?
yeah, it creates a whole new. That's a split, pretty much. Like that's one thing that I was going to say that this show did is it
Mm-hmm.
corrected and addressed that because much like and it goes back to a conversation I heard somebody saying with Deadpool and Wolverine. They're like, I didn't like this version of Wolverine because he was a loser and he failed his team. I like this is like why would they make up this version of Wolverine? It made me think like we've had so many different versions of Wolverine inside the X-Men franchise. You have the trilogy Wolverine. Origins clearly doesn't line up to anything else canon wise. You saw Wolverine in what was it, Apocalypse, where he actually comes out as Weapon X. That doesn't connect like story wise. So you've had multiple Wolverines, but with Terminator, it's kind of the same thing. You have Terminator 1, 2, 3, and Salvation, which is one timeline moving forward. And then they did Terminator Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
which addresses for the first time when you go back, you're not necessarily going back to your own past. When you go back, everything changes automatically. And we really never got like the hard explanation for how they want to treat time travel in this because time travel is theoretical. So you can go different routes, much like in-game with its own route. Back to the Future has a different route where you are going back on your timeline and what you do in the past changes the future. Well, we have confirmed hard canon with the greatest of explanations that whenever you go back in Terminator, you're not going back and landing in your personal past. You're going back and starting an
Mm-hmm.
entirely new future. You can never change anything in the future by touching anything in the past. You can only ever affect and exist in the present. It doesn't matter what year you travel to, it will always ever only be the present. And I'm like, dude, this needed to happen. And you even had Malcolm Lee, the main character that we follow, who's having this amazing deep philosophical conversation for 4 glorious hours with AI. And he talks about how we started this pointless war of sending, they would send a Terminator back, we would send a savior, a resistance fighter to be our savior. And it went back and forth for no reason. And I think that was great that was the sole purpose behind his motivation in this
Mm-hmm.
was that weird fact that we have this broken up timeline. Us, the viewers, have a chopped up timeline in this franchise, which is his key motivation for everything in this show of doing it differently. That we have to change it. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. If you're going to a different past, then the travel is pointless, but not to the future you're going to not to the future you'll end up in. But that's the thing. Let's see. It's okay, Joe. We still get through this together. Now we're in cat ears. Thought he bailed because Fox took the license from James Cameron and it went back to no. He like what was it? Was it like one of the Deadpool directors that did Dark Fate? Because Sean Levy hasn't directed all three of the Deadpool movies, but I believe it was the director of Deadpool that was directing Dark Fate, and James Cameron was trying to explain to this guy what this franchise universe looks like, should be, kind of thing, and they just butted heads. You shouldn't have two people trying to steer the same car. It just didn't work. AI is our Skynet is just the name of an AI, and we
Mm-hmm.
get introduced to a whole new one in this one as well. But the stocks were in different paths and may not be the same. I go back, invest Apple, but it's a KO and Peach. Yeah, but that's the point of that in this. Like that, you got to watch it, Scott. That's the entire point.
Mm-hmm.
Because how many few like can infinite futures will all be wrecked by Skynet, no matter how many times they go back and try to stop it. You can delay it, you can move it, but it was a it was an eventuality unless they can do something different. They're not trying to save their present, they're trying to save an eventual present.
Right. So right from the beginning, though, right, the very first scene, you have this robotic stock boy that you just know he's going to be a problem by the end.
Oh, yeah, the one when she went to go buy the little cat.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, it starts off in the future, and we get like a
Mhm.
total homage to the original Terminator when you see the future and like how the Terminator finds these little pockets of humans, and you get this really cool fight and everything. But when we get to 1997 for the first time, and the Miyako, the housekeeper, goes into that store, one of the first things she sees is those two kids run out in front of her playing little cap guns with each other, which was a total nod to Terminator 2 Judgment Day when John and Arnold were sitting there at the gas station watching the kids run around and thinking how eventually they're all just going to burn. But yeah, it was freaking awesome. Like this whole concept of this secondary AI. The show takes place in Japan on
Mhm.
Judgment Day. The whole span of the show takes place on Judgment Day, and you have this guy named Malcolm Lee who spent the last decade working in this company building this AI, but afraid to ultimately plug it in and put it full online because he's fearful if he turns it on completely and gives it access to everything, it'll come to the same determination that Skynet does. But his goal is to not try to train this AI. Like we teach AI, we give it commands, we give it prompts, and ultimately by doing that, when you turned it on, it turned on you. So he's trying to imbue free will into this AI. Just let it be a clean slate, not influence it. Just let it learn naturally and see what kind of nature it has, and if it will recognize the value in humanity and try to stop Skynet. And to everyone's surprise, I know it was to my surprise, just casually in episode 4 at the end, Judgment Day happens. The
Mhm.
bombs fly, the world gets nuked, except for Japan, where the new AI stops the bomb so it can continue this thought process, this explanation to see if they're worth saving. Ultimately, coming to the decision that you're worth saving because I could potentially use humans as a weapon against Skynet, and then eventually coming to the decision that yes, you're worth saving, and like kind of shown the best of humanity and show that that's what's worth saving. But it was phenomenal. You get crazy, like cool old school stalking scenes from a T-800 coming for people.
Mhm.
You get a police station getting cleared out like in the original one. You see the Terminator rocking like the police motorcycle gear, kind of homaging T2 in that sense. But there's just a lot. Timothy Oliphant was kind of scary as the T-800. I wish
Mhm.
he had more lines, but he was cold blooded.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, and it was, like Kenta. Um, that kid's a dick.
The oldest son, he's
Yeah.
the worst. He's the worst.
He's like if you knew somebody who would like burn ants with magnifying glasses or pull wings off of
It's him.
things, that's him.
Yeah, he's
Um,
he's Sid from Toy Story.
However, he becomes very important down the road. It was funny because you got all this stuff that's happening like through episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then with episode 7, you just get this huge information dump of like tells you basically everything.
Yeah. How did episode 7 like really hit for you? Because that's been like the kicker episode for everyone. And give me 1 second. Let me go see what's up with Monkey.
Okay. Yes, you have Kenta. I mean, there's obviously lots of different reveals, and there are people that are traveling from the future to the past that we didn't realize. Were from the future that we find out later on in the show are actually from the future. We also find out that not everyone is who they, surprisingly, not everyone is who we think they may be. The house guest for Malcolm, who is, I mean, it's not the house nanny or whatever for Malcolm, actually is a not really a Terminator, but definitely a cyborg. So we find that out as well, and so we find out exactly who she is and what she means to Malcolm. Again, through this big information dump in episode 7. Um, And then there are still some more surprises coming up in episode 8 as well. So we follow episode 7 is really kind of where we follow Malcolm through um, through his life, as opposed to what we only see him from. Basically, Kanerko, who is sorry, not Kanerko, Kokoro, who is the Skynet or whatever that he's the Skynet foe that he's developing and that he's thinking of plugging in. So we have Kokoro, who is something that he has created. Um, but then, like I said, I was talking about the his housekeeper who's not really a housekeeper, who has means more to him than actually everyone really knows, and she turns out to be a cyborg as well, and she was an early version of so it was there were just so many different twists and turns, and
How
um,
insane was that when he got found out? You told him he's from the future originally.
yeah, yeah,
Malcolm's traveling. He was the first person to realize that this war is endless and nobody can ultimately win it the
right,
way we're going. We can't defeat Skynet. Don't know if they can defeat us, kind of thing. We have to find another way. We can't take them out. We have to change their nature. We have to. By doing that, you have to have a whole new interface, and when he created the first version of the free will AI, it was the housekeeper that later you find that out. And he's sitting there with it like a half a body, but with a face and half arms, and he gets caught by his companions in the resistance, and they just come up and shoot it in the head, and she doesn't die. And she's like,
yeah.
this seems to be the end, Malcolm. I'm like, oh my God, this is
See, all those things were incredible, but to me, the biggest shock for me was that it was the future Kenta who sent the Terminator back because Kenta had supposedly brokered this peace
yeah.
between Skynet and everyone else. And it was that to me blew me away.
Yeah, but do we even know if that was true or not? Is what I was thinking. Because if you notice, like the second time around, I was pausing it because it happens really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever we're seeing out of the Terminator's eyes, his commands are on the screen and
Right.
changing threat levels and stuff. And when he's dragging Kenta down the hall to the EMP, he switches his protocol to like full something mode where he's just supposed to be like playing nice guy to Kenta,
Mm-hmm.
full compassion mode or whatever. So I think that is true. I think it was supposed to be like a mic drop moment, but it's something that we don't get to explore at
Right.
all. They tell us, and we're just supposed to know it. We never see the future version of Kenta,
Mm-hmm.
who he'd be old as hell.
Right.
He would be super old. He wouldn't even like, because if
See, I figured
old
that
girl is
Malcolm was.
Malcolm is, so that girl would be his grandma. So yeah, I guess he wouldn't be that old.
See, I kind of figured that Malcolm was from the future from the start because I figured his dreams were actually he was actually reliving everything that happened in his mind.
So
So he
yeah, I
had
didn't
seen
I
it.
didn't take the dreams as memories off the bat. What I caught off the bat is the technology being out of
Mm,
time. And
right.
that's because I saw Genesis.
Right.
Like again, like all of it is like shows you how much attention they paid to the franchise. Because in Genesis, the Terminator infects John Connor in the future and comes back and has to wait out stuff till it's able to build up an empire himself. He's a big bad guy in that one, and he has like this future tech that people don't really understand how he's able to come up with these things. He's like Steve Jobs on crack kind of thing with the ideas he has and this and that, just ahead of his time. And that technology he was rocking with was next level.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing how basic Skynet was, like from what we've seen in previous movies.
Daddy,
What's up?
stop making the little juice cups with
But
one.
but in the end, it's actually
Well, that's
actually
good, right?
Kenta who holds the future in his hands because he has the ability to either start the EMP pulse or abort it, and he chooses to abort it.
Yeah, did you see how everyone had different objectives too? Like
Mm-hmm.
the Terminator was coming back to shut down Kokoro. The Resistance fighter was coming back thinking that she needs to shut down Kokoro because when she comes online, like she ultimately works with Skynet. And then Malcolm's like, no, you got to leave it on to fight Skynet. Like one wanted to control it, one wanted to kill it, and one wanted to keep it alive. So they all had completely different objectives. It was wild.
Right. So eventually, Kenta are actually goes against the Terminator that he supposedly sent back.
Hmm.
So he actually
Yeah,
foils his own plot.
which was wild. How do you know
Yeah.
I'll do it? Because you told me you would. Like,
Yeah.
what? What did you say?
Right.
But it was wild, and the whole final fight was awesome with the Resistance fighter Kokoro in the big server room fighting the T-800. One thing that was cool, and I touched on it before, is they're in 1997 Japan, which does not have a Second Amendment. So all of these people are pretty much helpless to
Hmm.
the Terminator. The Terminator is capable of making improvised weapons and is did a few little modifications to give himself a basic little
Like
crossbow
a
type
crossbow.
thing.
Yeah. Yep.
And then our main resistance fighter who comes back in time is constantly having to improvise stuff. We see where she just uses chemistry on her side to make a little Molotov cocktail acid canisters in one part. We see where she's like putting just like freaking pellets into a gun at one point in
Mhm.
the fun house. Just whatever you can do. It was wild.
Is there a canonical reason as to why all of the Terminators have to get naked before they travel through time?
Yeah, because nothing non-biological can go through the time machine. That's why they have to have the skin too. Like that Terminator at the end, he would never be able to go back to the future because he's damaged and the metal's exposed.
Hmm.
If metal's exposed, the reaction will just blow you up.
Okay. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you would think that they would just put them in some clothes and
Mm-mm. The clothes would just get disintegrated or destroy the machine. Only biological material can pass through it.
so as long as it's totally covered in biological flesh, then it's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If there's anything exposed, you're done for.
Okay. I
Pretty
figured there
cool.
probably was, and I just never really
Hmm.
remembered it. So.
Yep. And if you remember, they don't really highlight this, but when you see humans come through, more than Terminators, but when humans come through, it hurts them, and they're steaming from the
Mm-hmm.
process. Like it's not a smooth process for them. Hell, Kyle Reese, when he came back, he like came back like 11 feet in the air and fell to the ground, steaming and injured from a fall. Yeah. That's fun. He said he ain't got all the lore, man. He might have some flesh jackets and pants. Exactly. Get your flesh jackets on. But yeah, there's so much to this, and man, it's just I can't recommend it enough. I know we talked about a bunch of it, but we really didn't just scratch the surface of how much in there. We didn't talk about the Enos in Japan. They have like little like robots that do like laborious jobs like street cleaning, walking your dog, which in episode one, that Eno that was walking a dog got away from it and accidentally caused a car wreck, causing fatality, and didn't even register the person and just kept on walking. They stock boy things, but they were ultimately hijacked by Kokoro,
Mm-hmm.
the new AI, and use them to lock down the city. Like locked down the city, killed countless people. Anyone that rised up, like, this is like just as bad as Skynet at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it was wild. It was explained in the first Terminator, but you actually get to see it. You get to see it happen. That's how they shut down the John Connor Terminator in Genesis. Is just fire up the temporal machine with him being exposed and just let it destroy him. Peace out, Kyle. Don't do anything wrong by it. I know he hasn't seen the other
It's all good.
Terminators. How many have you seen?
Um, I saw the first one. I saw the one with Christian Bale,
Hell yeah,
and
Salvation.
yeah, and I saw the last one.
Did you skip Terminator 2 just
Yeah,
then?
I haven't seen Terminator 2.
Are you shitting me right now?
No, I shit you not.
What? Dude, you've never just had like in all these years, like, man, I probably should watch Terminator 2.
Nope.
To this day, it is still like it's in my top 3 all times and will never change. Like, I don't think there's anything that can shake that movie out of like my top. It's the greatest action movie that's ever been made, hands down. I don't think anything even comes close second. Yeah, Terminator 2 is the best. Dude, you got to watch it like immediately. Like immediately. That's blowing my mind. Ooh. Wow. Next topic, man. Just get the best one.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Holy crap. Terminator Salvation, I think, is a ridiculously underrated movie. I think it's that's the most shocking statements anyone's ever made
There
on
you
this
go.
channel. Yeah. But hey, you have it to look forward to, because if there's one thing about that movie, that one of the things that makes it so good is it holds up to this day.
Mhm.
Holds up to this day. Have you seen Aliens?
Yes.
Think
I
it's
even have
Aliens,
seen.
but like way better somehow.
I even have seen some of the series that they did.
The Sarah Connor Chronicles. It was amazing. It was so
Yeah.
cool. I do, don't I? I talk about it all the time. Like even before this TV show, before it was relevant. It's the go-to. T2 is the only Terminator you should only watch. Yeah, if you're gonna only watch one, that is the one. Yeah. What's crazy is Terminator has a higher. Well, this is, man, it's hard to even be honest with those, because the movies came out a long time before the Rotten Tomato system came out. Yeah, man, dude, that just shook me to my core. You don't own a copy of it?
No.
Probably send you a copy with your balloon. I still have your balloon over there. Some trading cards, Terminator 2. I know I have, like, I've got to have a Blu-ray copy. Do you have a Blu-ray player?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I don't know. I've got a DVD copy for Christmas a long time ago. I got the special edition DVD that came out with the metal slip sleeve, which curveball that actually like destroys the case as you slip it in and out because it's not made perfectly.
Right.
I got the Blu-ray. It was like within the first 5 Blu-rays I ever bought. I've got it on 4K now.
Mhm.
Like I rebuy it all the time, and now I'm looking at I know you get the Groove Entertainment ads.
Mhm.
You seen that steelbook they've got for the first Terminator?
Mhm.
Yeah, I need that. But if it wasn't for like a car breaking down, I might have already ordered it. Do you have a Laserdisc player? Oh man, that blew my mind. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna dig out a Blu-ray copy and send it to you.
Why wouldn't it surprise me if you happen to have a copy of it just within arm's reach?
Oh, I do, but I have to reach over, like, the latter half of the alphabet of the Blu-ray collection is just like sitting right here, but like the T's are behind the Batmobile right now.
Oh, okay.
I most certainly have everything in arm's reach. Oh, let's talk some books. Let's give some stuff away. Then let's balance. It's 9:38. The only Terminator I haven't seen is Terminator Salvation, and I have it because my fiance has it. I was going to watch it. Watch the director's cut. It's got like man, the last 45 minutes of that movie are legendary. I like it a lot. I'm a big Sam Worthington fan. I don't know what it is about Sam Worthington. I love that actor. Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans, Man on a Ledge.
I know exactly. That's why you love Sam Worthington, because he's an
in
Avatar.
Horizon, dude. He's in Horizon also.
Yep.
He's the lieutenant for the military installation. I just love him as an actor. He's a really good actor. Low key, massively underrated action star too. I don't think he's underrated, but he's like great on set apparently. Like he's doing his own stunts to a large degree, willing to do more than insurance steps in. He's just one of those fun actors. When you can tell an actor is having fun and seems to be like fun to work with, it just really shows in their performance. But yeah, I like me some Sam Worthington. He plays Marcus Wright in Salvation. Great character. Great character. Ask him if he's ever seen Star Wars. He's more of a Star Trek guy. I
have
like
seen all of Star Wars, though.
Yeah, he's seen all of Star Trek too.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. I kind of like T3. Claire Danes and Nick Stahl are great actors. You know, it's funny, if you go back years ago on this stream, back when Ryan was still here, he used to pick on me because I would watch Terminator 3 all the time when I'd lay down for bed. I always like to turn on something I've seen before that I don't have to pay a lot of attention to. You just listen to, and if you hear something, you're still awake enough, you kind of peek over. I love Terminator 3 for a lot of reasons. I recognize the faults in it. Absolutely. But it exists in this fantastic era of cinema that I really love, where computer effects were getting better, but practical effects were still a big deal. So it's like this really cool marriage of it. Like, in a great example of it is when the Terminatrix is running to catch up with him after the shootout at the cemetery, and like goes flying off the cliff to land on the car. And you get one of the greatest chase scenes ever in Terminator 3 with the crane truck scene. A lot of that was done practical as well as digital, and it's amazing. Just watched episode 4, Still Fire. Yeah, and it only gets better, dude. It only gets better. It's so hard to recap 4 hours of what that show did in this kind of setting. You would really need notes and a
keep a
plan.
notepad for episode 7.
Yeah, god dang. And possibly tissues, depending on how you get invested into it. But yeah, Claire Danes' character, that character is brought back in Catherine Brewster. Catherine Brewster. Catherine Brewster. That's how he says it. But she's back in Salvation as well. They tore up a city in that. Yeah, an entire city. I didn't like Terminator 3, LOL. A lot of people didn't. I did. I tell you what, hit people really weird, and I know it. And I saw that one in theaters, and when they failed, they were trying to, stop Judgment Day again, postpone Judgment Day. And by the end of it, they make it to where they need to make it to, and they realize the Terminator just took them to a fallout shelter because there's no stopping it and the bombs fly. Who's in charge there? I am. Like you see John Connor start. Like it's fantastic. So I'm going to lead in my previous comment. Put the wrong link. If you put a comment with a link, YouTube deleted it. YouTube would have deleted it because I don't think it allows you to drop hyperlinks unless you have a wrench. Let's add a few more likes to this video, gang. Thank you, John. Thank you. T3 is the reason my taxes are so high in California. They're paying for the property damage done while filming. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. You want to hit on some books before we do the wheel spin?
Sure.
The kids are acting wild. They don't have to go to school tomorrow, but I can tell they're putting Kyle through the ringer. She just came walking by, tossing Monkey's blanket into the laundry room, which, if I had to guess, I'm thinking Monkey just back there yelling and fussing from her room enough they probably threw up on it. You are out of your mind, Dr. Von Hoot. You got some of that makeup in your eye. But it's hard to say. There are some massively corny attempts at comedy in it. Mainly with Arnold, when he goes to the bar in the beginning, he ends up going to like a gay bar where he gets his clothes, his boots, his motorcycle, and he goes to recreate the scene from 2, and he goes to put on the glasses, but they're like Elton John star glasses. So they kind of had some jokes that missed. There we go. Thank you, Esteban. All right, Paul, hit us with some books. What are you reading these days?
Well, reading these 3, but we'll be talking about these tomorrow.
All right, well, see, we got Green Arrow number 14, 15. Part of the Absolute Power installment this week. We also have Origins number 2 from everyone's least favorite writer, John Ridley. That getting into Suicide Squad territory. That we will be putting on there, as well as Task Force 7 number 5 of 7, featuring Velocity, getting to see the Amazo robot that is endowed with the Flash's powers. A lot of Flash's powers, a lot of speedsters there. We'll tell you guys I'm enjoying Absolute Power a lot. This event is really hitting. If you want to know what's going on with Absolute Power, you haven't picked it up, haven't invested into it, wasn't sure if you wanted to. It was just too much, whatever reason. You can keep up with the entire thing at Sector's channel. Link is down below. We post over there every week when these books come out. We do a deep dive, keeping you up to date, up to speed with what's happening in the story.
Yes, it's a word of warning. Tomorrow's probably will not be at 10 o'clock. It'll be a little bit later, probably 11 or 12 or so. So
that's my fault. It's my fault.
It's his birthday. He figured he had to do something. So
I was at the Golden Corral.
There you go.
Well, I was working this weekend. This has been busy, man. I found out why it was busy because I spent Thursday and Friday instead of being productive watching Terminator 0 twice.
But other than that, did you read this?
I didn't even pick up a copy of that.
What?
Yeah, I completely gapped it.
Oh wow.
Was it good?
Yeah, I won't ruin it for you totally, other than it looks as though this may not be just a little one shot, that Parallax may be back.
It's not a one. Didn't they tease Parallax? And what did they tease him in? It was an earlier in Green Arrow, wasn't it? Remember when he was doing the Merlin thing? Didn't he pop up briefly there when he was universe hopping?
So he's free again at the end of this. So I won't ruin it for you.
Where does it take place timeline wise? It can't
Correct.
be modern. Where all the Green Lantern characters up in space.
Correct. That's
Where
where
it takes
that
place.
mostly takes place is up in space.
God dang it!
Hmm.
So it's all on Oa.
No, it takes place in different timelines and different. So it takes place in the multiverse.
Got you. Well, that makes sense because that's where we last saw Parallax, was through that
Right.
little universe hopping thing.
Hmm.
I was assuming it was going to be like one of those, like how the Superman special was, where you get like a couple of different writers to tell you different stories that are kind of like love letters to the event kind of thing.
This is one big story, but basically done by Dan Jurgens and Ron Mars. So they were two of the. Obviously, Dan Jurgens was the writer and artist of Zero Hour, and Ron Mars was actually writing Green Lantern at the time. Kyle Rayner is a huge character in it. He basically is the character that runs through all the different chapters. And then we have artists from that timeline. We have Jerry Ordway does some art, Tom Grummett does some art, Paul Pelletier does some art. So it's a lot of the artists, just like they did with the Superman one. They had
Bring
Grummett
the
and
creative team back.
exactly. So yeah, it's pretty good. We see Wave Rider again. We see all the gang is back.
Nice. Is what was the bad guy? What was Hawk's name by then?
He was
He went like full blown bad guy.
well. He was Armageddon at one point.
Yeah, after that.
Yeah, he's got red with the black on his face and
Extant.
extant. Yeah, extant.
There
Yeah,
we go. Yeah.
it's funny because that
Extant-
whole thing with Armageddon was actually kind of funny because it was supposed to be Captain Atom,
I know it wasn't.
and it wasn't.
I think, yeah, look, we got the chat.
Yeah, Pops and Brother John.
Yeah, we're over here brain farting.
Exactly.
Well, I actually had a lot of indies, which
Okay.
some of that is due to the fact that I'm playing catch up. But Void Rivals number 12 came in. This is like the pacing of this is fantastic. You don't get too much in each issue, but they're at a point where they're kind of the thread is away. They decide they have to go their two separate ways to keep this journey going. And the big thing to realize is they've revealed in this that their existence is because of this ancient transformer that pretty much created them. And at the end, you have two warring worlds side by side, don't even know what each other looks like. And these two characters are the first time that they've even seen each other outside of their masks. It's like taboo kind of thing to even know what each other look like. And they realize they're the same people. And they both have these gems in their heads. And then they're saying their goodbyes. They lean forward and those gems touch and it cuts to deep space. And you see this dark planetoid thing off in the distance. And it's like an eye opens, a green eye. And then when they pull their heads back, you see the eye close back. So there's like some major Energon universe shaking events getting ready to happen coming out of Void Rivals. I think this is going to be like the first big mega thing to happen is going to have started right here at Void Rivals with this ancient being. Yeah, it's definitely hit its stride. The bar in Terminator 3 wasn't a gay bar. It was a male strip club because the scene was women throwing money at the stripper. Arnold takes the clothes and learns the whole talk to the hand method. Yeah. When the guy goes, talk to the hand. I guess that's why people thought it was a gay bar. Dang it, autocorrect. Yeah. It was an amazing issue. Amazing issue. Also, Dick Tracy number 4. This is kicking off. It's been kicking off since issue number 1. Dick Tracy and his little deputized sidekick have unfortunately succeeded. They found who they want to find. They wanted to find out who was behind all this like seedy dealings and shootings that are happening in town, and they are now face to face with Big Boy, also looking down the barrel of more guns than they can stop. So that's where they're sitting right now. Hard boiled, old school-esque Dick Tracy. It's literally like if you took the original strip and just like if it started in 2024, how would it look? It'd be grimy. These are gangsters. These are criminals. The old school Dick Tracy stuff is violent too. Like those people would die left and right. Like you didn't have reoccurring villains and stuff, and it's violent. Finally read Flash Gordon #1. It was fantastic. We got Flash in chains. Mongol is destroyed. Ming is nowhere to be found. He assumes Dale's in trouble. Find out by the end of it that Dale's actually running things and he doesn't know it. And he's trying to break out and escape from this prison for go save her when she clearly doesn't need to be saving. On his journey to break out, he gets scooped up along the way. He doesn't make it out all the way. Gets thrown into a coliseum. And these dirty prison events are being ran by Ming himself, who's also stuck on this prison planet. So he's trying to leverage his way out by throwing Flash into a battle that he knows he can't win. Also in the Energon universe, Scarlet #3 is just fun little. Let's break into a building and fight some ninjas. Cool. But it's supposed to be doing something to make a big reveal for the Energon universe. But most of the stuff that's happening with these G.I. Joe offshoots is just showing you like the G.I. Joe world where Energon is an energy source for like making weapons and stuff like that. So we'll see where it goes. It's only got 2 more issues anyways. So a lot of indies for me in this little stack. Did you read this?
I did.
Could you make anything of it?
Other than it really kind of just, yeah. He's gonna basically.
Like our finale was number 11, and this was just an epilogue, which is fine. There was still some stuff in it.
He's going to be part of Green Lantern Civil War Corps, and he's going to be a backup feature in the Green Lantern proper.
Yeah, so we finally shut down the old god, the poisoned mind of this poor old god that was poisoning things and had people stuck, and shut it down. He pretty much like took it in, like he got it embedded in a ring, and he's just kind of like in control of it now, which I'm sure will come into play later. But I'm glad that we wrapped it up. It was a fun journey along the way. I think it would read a lot better collected because it's so meaty, and if you can really just stay in the pocket and stay in the story kind of thing, it's going to help. But it was a decent story all in all. Philip Kennedy Johnson writes some big idea stuff, and he only had 12 issues there, but he still wrapped up what was there. I think I didn't like the end though, in the sense that this dude's still freaking crazy, man. He's got construct of his dead sibling rocking with him, and like that's not okay. That's not the sign of a healthy individual,
right?
And
although he only had 12 issues, the concepts that he uses go well beyond those 12 issues. It goes all the way back to Action Comics, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Big stuff. It is really big stuff. I picked this annual up. I'm not going to read it. Hulk's on my pull list. I noticed that this is
part of the Infinity Watch or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this is like a story that's been popping through titles.
It's across a lot of the annuals, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to read that.
Started in
the first time they've done that with Infinity Watch. I think in 2018 they did the same thing with an Infinity Watch annual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lazy folks at Marvel make me sad. What's going on, Comic Cap? What else you got?
Did you read Batman Dark Age?
No, I haven't. I haven't read it. What'd you think of it?
Good. It's really good. I don't want to. We can talk about it next week.
Feel free to talk about it. Don't bother me none. I'm still going to read it.
You've done the same for me, so I don't want to ruin it.
I promise you it doesn't. I've got stuff that I haven't read yet. Is I got the new Berserker one shot. Now they're doing like a series of one shots, giving you stories from B of all different eras. Yeah, this one looks dope. It looks like maybe like Genghis Khan era or something. You tell from like that armor on there, kind of get an idea for it. Possibly like Greek era. I don't know, the Huns. I think this is the finale to House Carino, so I'm going to read all these now, which Mark Strong is playing the head of House Carino in the upcoming Dune TV show for Max. So I'm excited to dive into that.
He's so good.
He is. He's amazing.
He was a great Sinestro.
Sinestro, yeah, he killed it. I still have this. It's like last month. I might as well just file it.
Issue 3 of this. You wouldn't like this. She starts talking backwards.
I'm out. Can't do it. Did you get a camera?
No, I just restarted everything before I came on. So restarted my modem, restarted my computer. So
there you go. Is Berserker a high recommendation? Yes and no. So the 12 issue series, all right, the first 6 I think is a great story, but like the initial 12 issues is almost like the end of the line so far. Like that's as far as we go, and it gets really out there. And I think we had a couple of delays in it which mess with it a little bit. I love the character. I have a lot of fun with it. I like supporting Keanu Reeves in his ventures with this because I think he's probably like the greatest human being to ever grace Hollywood. Like legit, and I told you, I'm a big fan of like performers that seem to be good people. I don't think we have enough. I think the majority of the people that deliver our entertainment are terrible people, and it's unfortunate. But Keanu's like an honest to God treat. Like we don't deserve that guy, and he's doing really cool stuff with it. Like he's moved it into like novels and working with like really acclaimed love novelists and stuff. But what he's doing now is I'm really liking a lot. What they're doing is they're putting out a one shot every month or two where it stands on its own. It's a little bit oversized and it takes place in different times and places because the character B has been around for hundreds of thousands of years. So you have unlimited story possibilities. And I think this one has the last one. Yeah, this one has Matt Kent back. So Keanu Reeves and Matt Kent with Ron Garney, Bill Crabtree. So you have pretty much the original.
I'd say Garney was the original artist.
Yeah, Garney and Kent are the original creative teams with Keanu on the 12 issue. But like Jason Aaron did the Western one that Jang had that variant for. It was phenomenal. But yeah, I'm enjoying these a lot. I think it's a fun way to read it just in a small trade. But it's a super fun character. And doing it like this, you're more exploring just different ideas, different concepts, different principles, and a story that's highlighting that. A story should serve a purpose. Like, what did I learn from it? What was the point of that story? Who was the good guy? Who was the bad guy? What is the problem that they had to overcome? And they're doing that with these. You feel like you're getting like a true story with it. So I would highly recommend even just going and checking out these one shots. And you'll know that they're one shots because for one, they'll be in issue 1, but they'll all have a subtitle. So this one's called the Lost Book of B. So every one of them has just a different subtitle. Check them out.
Yeah, White Comics is big on Berserker.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Infinity Watch has been going on for a while. Yeah, either that or it's storming in Florida. Couldn't agree more. And thank you. I like the Berserker series. Yeah, it's just that the art is not consistent. No, I mean it was all Ron Garney in the 12, but they change up now for the one shot. You're getting a different creative team, which it works good. By the way, the anime is going to be from the same team as Terminator Zero series for Netflix. Mark. Oh, dope! Yeah, I forgot about that. The Berserker animated show is coming. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. Hopefully, it'll keep me. I did like the way that Zero did it with the blend of traditional animation with 3D stuff. It reminded me of like peak Disney. I'm talking like Atlantis and Lost Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet, yeah, exactly. Where the ship was all computer animated, but there was the people were 2D animation. Yeah, exactly.
And do you remember Titan AE? That one was not Disney, but phenomenal era for animation. Like I'm not a big fan of like the full CG animation stuff. Just cool. You're what is it? Well, the terminology that the creative team behind the Spider-Verse, what they call their animation is our learning machine animated it. That's AI, bro.
Right.
That's AI. I'm out. It's cool. Looks whatever, but it's nowhere near as impressive as turning on Treasure Planet or Atlantis, the Lost City, or Titan AE, and just be like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, even some of the real older ones, like you can go back to like Beauty and the Beast, where you can tell like when they're dancing, the whole ballroom is like computer generated.
Yeah, Jessica Fletcher singing from Murder She Wrote. Tell as old as time. Celine Dion sang it better. What's Treasure Planet? It's like a 1997-98 Disney flick. They reimagined Treasure Island instead of it taking place in the ocean. They're doing it in space. But pirate ships, everything, it's fantastic. And I also recommend Atlantis: The Lost City. It's just an original Disney movie back from the golden era of my lifetime. And like this was at a time where I was like aging out of you age out of cartoons temporarily till you find different ones as you get older. But those like Treasure Planet and Atlantis, they were cool. They were really cool. Super duper cool. Defenders of the Earth again, dude. Like Mad Cave is crushing it. You remember Defenders of the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had these VHS growing up. This is like the end of that story. It's gonna be an 8-issue miniseries written by Dan DiDio himself.
Hmm.
It's like literally like as far as the show ever went, this happens next. The kids that are present in this seem like they're going to be major players, some for the good, some for the bad. All of our title characters are in weird places. Ming gets slaughtered by Flash Gordon right out the gate. Like he's done. Flash is done. Dale's dead. You piss me off. I'm coming for you. The next time you see Flash is when Mandrake, Lothar, and Phantom are trying to the last stand on Earth. And then something lands in the dust and like, this is it. We're dead. And through the dust walks Flash. First thing you see before you even tell who it is a head come flying, hits the ground and rolls, and it's Ming. And Flash walks out. It's over. The war's done. You're like, what? What? They go hard. So it's just a first issue. You spend kind of like place setting the world after the big battle that was the television show that spawned the entire length of the television show. So we're in completely uncharted territory from here moving forward. So I'm excited for it. Picked up Flash Gordon quarterly. Haven't read that one yet. Yeah, there's so much going on. Nice House at DC. I haven't read that yet. That's issue number 2. Dark Age, book 5. Haven't read that yet. World's Finest 30. The next Flash, not even the last one. I'm piling them up. And then Detective Comics. I did read this. I think I read this. Yeah, this was the final issue, wasn't it?
No, he's got one more issue. 1089 is his last issue.
Felt like it could have been the last issue.
It does say finale, but it says part 1.
Oh, inside, you mean?
Inside, yeah.
Yeah, well, they stopped the bad guys. They shut down the Orgums. What happened with Arzen? I'm going to have to go back through that because something happened with Arzen. Then we resurrect Arzen. Someone resurrected him. Talia.
Yeah.
Talia resurrected Arzen in that issue. And he immediately tried to attack her, and she's like, no, your mom killed you. I saved you. Okay, it's all coming back to me now.
There you go.
Celine Dion. Mr. Freeze fought the wolf guy and the other guy and used the freeze gun on a molecular level that he wasn't expecting and literally liquefied that Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Savage. Yeah. That was a good issue. Huh. What you got?
That's actually pretty much it. That's all that I got too.
I'm still going to go back through that one again. Well, let's get ready to spin this wheel. We got the names on the wheel. We got the Legionnaires from the month of August on there. So if you're in the Legion tier, the channel membership, you're on there. I appreciate all you guys. And this is my way of saying thank you. We're going to shuffle this thing until Paul says stop.
Stop.
Again, that is your reminder that if you win, thank Paul. If you lose, blame Paul. Circumstances was the winner of the last one where we gave away the first appearance of Deadpool. Circumstances also won the first appearance of Venom Friday night on DJ's channel. He's on a roll. So he's your major competition for getting a copy of the first appearance of She-Hulk. Atlantis was awesome. Titan AE rocked. Yeah, some good stuff. All right, so we're going to spin this bad boy. I appreciate everybody. And the winner is... Probably should write this down.
Brother John. Oh, but wait a second. Nobody ever wins the Legion loot.
Didn't he say that earlier?
He did say that earlier. Yeah, I believe he did.
He was the one, wasn't
we
he?
should actually, we should do that again because he can't win.
I'm about to find that comment. I'm about to find that comment right now. All right, I gotta be getting closer. First off, congratulations to Brother John.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's one of the most winningest people on Paul's channel. Now you can chalk a win up. I'm not sure if this is his first Legion loot win or not. Let's see. Rings of Power Talk. It was before that. A lot of Rings of Power Talk. Man, I didn't realize the chat went on for that long tonight. I want to get a screenshot of that comment up here with this. There's Jim. That's where he popped in. There we go.
There you go.
Screenshot. And grab that image right there. All right. I want to be able to go over to Instagram.
Right.
Brother, he's getting this right now. Hopefully he's in the chat watching. I'm still going to send him this picture so it can live in infamy. And there you go, Brother John. That is in your DMs. I'm petty like that. I don't see him in the chat. Yeah, I think he might have gotten late. He might have popped out. Congrats to him again.
Absolutely.
We do the Legion Loot drawing the first Sunday of every month. If you're a channel member in the Legion tier, you get all the little early access, channel emojis, all that. But I always like to do an appreciation prize wheel for those guys since they're putting in financially to the channel, because I don't keep the channel funds. It just goes right back into the channel. Also, don't forget every Tuesday is a new DC Day live stream. There's a weekly giveaway over there. Just be present in the live chat for your chance to win on that, as well as all kinds of other stuff all throughout the week. Be sure to tune in to Sector 2815's channel. Every other Wednesday, we do the DC Deep Dive over there. Also, with a giveaway with each show, just be present to win. We kind of do giveaways all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. He says, sweet, give it to me. Yeah. Ian, I appreciate you being here tonight, man. That was awesome. Like linking up with him the other day and actually having you in here hanging out and chit-chatting with us, man. This was fun. Esteban, Pops, everybody who's still hanging out with us. Loki, glad to see you back in rotation with us, my dude. And we'll see all you guys tomorrow at some point when the DC Deep Dive uploads. Remember to hit Sector's channel, because we do content on this channel and that channel. You find us here and there. We do this, the DC Deep Dive over there, and the game show every other Wednesday. Guess that key over there with him. So hang out with us numerous times a week.
Absolutely.
Make sure you hit Sector 2815 down below. And also go to the cbcawards.org. That's right. I'm supposed to be telling people, go over there. Brian puts in a lot of work. Yes, he's back. Did you get my message? No, you hadn't seen it yet. I sent you a message, bro. Thanks, Paul. There it is. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark. He's Paul. But we are Legion.
Is that it? Is that all you got?